Hey, everybody. So I'm trying this for the first time, right? So I'm comfortable with doing live streams and such. The live stream part don't bother me. And hopefully we'll, present a good product for you, everybody out there, right? But but this is the first time I'm doing it for um, Chop It Up TV. We did of course, y'all know I have a channel, Chop It Up. I changed the name to On and On. I kind of wanted to kind of do a little, but the vibe didn't feel right as On and On. So I'm reverting back to the name Chop It Up TV because it felt right. So I'm your host, created the channel Ken. Want to bring something to y'all. Want to just start this series of stuff that we all have challenges with in our life, and some stuff that we like to have fun with. But today I want to present a topic to you and get your feedback and hopefully help somebody. So today's episode, we're gonna try to figure out a means to, or the title is how to talk out problems, right? And so we're gonna try to figure out how we do that. How to talk out problems. Triborough, what's good? My man Triborough Gigolo is in the building. What's good with you? So shout out to my man Triborough. So while I won't have all the answers for everybody, hopefully I can help somebody, right? And hopefully y'all can join in and help also. Maybe y'all can help me, right? But I just wanted to touch on this topic, just to see if we can get a conversation going. Hopefully help somebody. Maybe somebody help us. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Triborough, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, I'm gonna try to do this thing on Chop It Up, man. I got I've been neglecting the channel for a while because Blarn's Tears has been growing out of control. The Knicks at Night podcast has been growing like out of control, like growing like wildfire. And so I wanted to jump on for a little bit and see if we can grow Chop It Up some, just so that see if we can help somebody with some stuff. You know what I mean? So with the thing with Chop It Up is, of course, we want to have it be fun and entertaining at the same time, address issues or whatever. So today we're going to talk about how to talk out problems, right? So how should we talk out problems? Viewers and guests all out there, how do y'all feel you should talk out a problem? Let me go. It probably would help if I went to Facebook so I can see my Facebook crowd, right? Let me do that just real quick. Y'all hold on with me. It's my first time doing it on Facebook, so I want to make sure that I'm doing this thing right. Just bear with me. Bear with me. I should be. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. So for some reason, Facebook won't let me load it. Okay, and it's my joint too. So Facebook, with y'all crazy self. Anyway, I'm gonna just rock and roll. Anyway. I'm gonna just rock and roll with it. So how do you talk out your problems? For one, first of all, you should identify the problem, right? You should identify the problem. I feel like in a situation where you want to fix a problem, you should first identify what the problem is, right? Identify the problem, and that way you'll at least know what it is that you're working on. So Triborough said, let me move this thing out of there. So Triborough said, I think we need to talk out our issues without people pointing blame, calling the cops, fighting, etc. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that part. I'm gonna get to that part because I think it's a process. You need to develop a system when it comes to like talking out problems and such, right? I think you should identify the problem. You know what I mean? Because what's a problem for one may not be a problem for the other. You know what I mean? Like for instance, I do this show at night, the Knicks at Night podcast, right? I do this joint. For some, it might be a problem. They say, man, you doing that in the middle of the night, man, it might disrupt other stuff in my life. For me, I'm thinking, I do this thing. It's an outlet for fandom and such. You know what I'm saying? It don't disrupt anything in my life personally. As a matter of fact, I think it enhances some stuff. But somebody may view that, you know what I'm saying, in a different way. Like they might say, hey, man, hey, Uncle Freezy, the joint is just a problem for me. And then, so while it might be what's a problem for them may not be a problem for me. So what we need to do is identify what the real problem is. Like, you know what I'm saying? So step one, like I mentioned, is identify the problem. Hey, can y'all hear me okay out there? Everything good? Audio and video good? I mean, I can't fix the ugliness, but I may be able to fix the tech issue. So anyway, identifying the problem to me definitely is the first step. You want to make sure, you identify what the problem is. Maybe is there another example that I can use as in terms of identifying what the problem is? If you want to, and so identifying the problem to me means that whoever it is that has issue has identified the issue as one that has grown from being just an issue that's a nuisance to one that and looked at it as a flat out problem. So it's basically gone from being maybe a rock in your shoe to maybe one that is a stumbling block, or something in your path that you can't get over. And so much so that it's one where you can't move on without addressing it. Right? Yeah, that's what it is. It's to the point where you legit can't move on to other things in your life without addressing it. Whether you have to legit make a decision to try to ignore it or to address it. So my second part to it is this. Who does the problem affect? Who does the problem affect? Oh, thank you, babes. You must have heard my voice going. That was my wife, aka the producer of the show, executive producer, aka the assistant. Heard my voice going already and bought some hot tea. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of support system you need in your life. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, the second thing is who does the problem affect? Right? In a relationship, in any kind of relationship, and I'm not talking about just girlfriend and boyfriend, or husband and wife, or parent and child, or sister and brother, or friends, or whatever type relationship. Yeah, salute. So regardless of the relationship that you're in, if you're in a situation where an issue in y'all's life becomes a problem in your relationship, you have to make a determination on which one is the most valuable. Is the perceived problem by them more important than the relationship with that person? Is it, or let me see, did I say that right? Is the perceived problem with them more important? Yeah. Is the perceived problem with them more important than the relationship with that person or group of people? It's something to consider. That seems petty, right? But think about it. That seems petty, but think about it. Yeah. That seems petty, but I'm gonna do a deep dive in that because I talk to a lot of people. I speak to a lot of people, right? And what I just said, it might seem petty, but what I said might seem petty, but when we do the deep dive, you'll understand where I'm coming from more. You'll be able to understand my point of reference better, right? So once you've identified the problem, and once you've recognized who the problem affects, hold on. All of a sudden, my dog wants to go haywire and go outside. I just don't want him to knock the Christmas tree over. Hold on. Oh, you got him? Okay. All right. So you wanna do this thing where you're like, who does the problem affect? Right? Say for instance, the problem is drinking alcohol, right? Or say the issue is drinking alcohol. I'm sorry. Say the issue is drinking alcohol. So I used to drink, drink whatever. I don't think I ever had an issue with it. In terms of alcohol or whatever. So to me, beer was my baby. I used to love some Bud Light, right? But in certain circumstances, alcohol as the issue will become, say, a problem for somebody's family members, because at some point, some may have their issue with alcohol is a problem where they put alcohol above everything. Like alcohol is beyond an issue and beyond the problem and becomes an addiction, right? Well, who does that affect? It affects everybody in the person's life that has the addiction, because you have certain side effects and issues that come along with, say, alcoholism, like not being responsible, right? Not being responsible, or even becoming like aggressive, like physically aggressive, emotionally aggressive, mentally aggressive, not responsible with things, like driving while you drink, spending the family's income on alcohol and irresponsible behavior, things of that sort. So how do you fix it? It's one, and this is just one example. This is not the example. This is one example. It's not the example. I want to make that clear. This is just a hypothetical, and I'm not saying it based off of anybody's life or anything like that. Just want to say this is one example, right? In a situation where, say alcohol was the issue that turned into a problem, that turned into an addiction. You want to be one that's empathetic to the person with the issue, right? Say if I had a sister that had, and I'm just using this as an example. Shout out to my sister and them. I don't know if they watching or not. They probably too busy counting their money. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kim and them. I'm just joking, and I'm not using her. I'm just saying, just imagine if I had an imaginary sister that had an alcohol issue, right? And her family life started to deteriorate because of the issue, the alcohol problem. Right. Say it became went from an issue to a problem to an addiction. I'd have to be empathetic, right? I can't just bust in the scene and say, you need to stop drinking with your drunk self. You ruining our family. That's not necessarily the approach. Now, in my opinion, now my emotions may sooner or later get me to that point where sometimes I may blurt out stuff, but blurting out stuff is not the way to go. Trust me, it's not the way to go. We have to be empathetic and calm, be in the mindset of what we want to see the end goal is. Because work our way backwards. That's the other thing too. So when you see somebody with an issue, whatever it is, you want to kind of work your way backwards. You want to work backwards from success. And I know that seems crazy, but imagine in your mind what the successful end game is, and work your way backwards by putting pieces and devices in place to ensure that you would be successful. Right? It's so if the end game is, say the end game is in a scenario where you have a loved one that may be or my sister has a drinking issue, and shout out to Kim. I know she ain't got no thing. I'm just using me and Kim's imaginary sister. Me and my sister Kim's imaginary sister. That's the one. That's the person with the imaginary drinking issue. You're gonna work your way backwards from it, right? We want to imagine what success is, and success, and my real sister's mind maybe have our imaginary sister stop drinking. Success in my mind would be have our imaginary sister be able to manage her life successfully with or without alcohol. Right. I like, for me, I don't bash people that drink. You know what I'm saying? I say my preference would be to manage a successful life with or without alcohol, making sure everybody is safe. Right? Making sure everybody's safe. And so by one of the means of us getting there is seeing if the problem is reasonably fixable. Can we put devices in place in a reasonable way, or can we put devices in place in everybody's life that are reasonable to help our imaginary sister fix her alcohol issue? Can we do that? You know, can we like say for instance, does it take the family coming together and having a sit down with our imaginary sister? Let's call, for me, I'm gonna stop saying imaginary sister and I'm gonna just start saying Sarah. How about that? Sarah, that's her name. Sarah, the imaginary sister. All right, so say we all just have a family meeting with Sarah, right? And we say, Sarah, listen, you hadn't been making your house payments because you've been spending too much money on alcohol or partying or doing whatever, right? And Sarah's like, you know, I can deal with it. I've just been going through a lot of stuff. And we're like, Sarah, but this has been going on for like a year and a half. And Sarah used to have great credit and used to be dependable, but now she's drinking alcohol, and her issue with alcohol has gone beyond a problem and is now, say, an addiction that is ruining her life. So now we're like, Sarah, you used to have good credit. Now your credit's not so good because of this last year and a half, 2 years, you've been drinking alcohol so much that it's impacting, you know, the things that you were good at. So Sarah, you're 50. Your whole life you used to be good. And then now all of a sudden, you know, you just can't get these things right. You know, your new addiction has become a detriment to you. The things that you used to be good at your whole life, all of a sudden you can't function anymore. So Sarah's gonna be like, no, I'm good. Why do I need, what do I need all of y'all for? Why are y'all judging me? Why all of y'all ganging up on me? I'm good. I don't have an addiction. I can handle this issue and this problem and this issue and function good. I just can't win over some stuff. So when that happens, now you have one side of the issue saying, hey, I'm good, I don't have a problem. And the other people involved are saying, yes, you do have a problem. You know what this is going to lead to, and y'all know this. Y'all know this is going to lead to an argument, right? And don't judge me like y'all don't argue. Y'all argue just like everybody else. Don't judge me or imaginary Sarah. Everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people argue. And the reason why they argue is because they have an issue that they've identified, right, that may have become a problem and may have even become some weird like addiction type thing. And they can't figure out what it is. They can't figure out why the other side doesn't see that this is an issue. Right? People argue. It's just what they do. Because people have an emotional attachment or an emotional investment in an issue, and they want to resolve the issue, but a lot of issues they can't resolve by themselves because they need input from someone else. It's a fact of life. I mean, it's legit a fact of life. People argue. That's not even a topic for this show, this live stream. Because people are going to argue. I've seen it my whole life. And I'm not just going to say my family argues, because it's not just my family and the people that I grew up around. It's a lot of people. Work environments, people argue. Social environments, people argue. Family environments, people argue. I mean, it's just what it is. You know, people argue. But in this situation with our imaginary sister, Sarah, she's ready to argue because she feels like everybody in the family is ganging up on her because her issue has not become an addiction, and we as her family feel like it has. Right? It just happens. It happens. It's one of those things. It's a fact of life. It happens. So how do we fix it? How do we fix it? Now we've addressed the issue with the other person. We brought it to their attention. How do we fix it? So we've identified it. We're working on trying to work our way backwards from success. We're going to be empathetic, but now we have to put some devices in place. So here's the thing: we can't babysit Sarah. We can't babysit the other person. It can't. That's not how this works. Problem solving is not, basically putting people in baby jail. That's not how you fix problems. That's not how you fix problems. How you fix problems is getting the other person to understand your side of the story, and seeing how what they're doing may be a detriment to themselves and others, and getting them to buy into putting a fix in place, a solution in place. Right? Now, with that said, how do you get them to understand where you're coming from, and then identify? For one, don't argue. Don't yell at adults. It's stupid. I know all the TV shows that y'all like to watch is full of drama and adults yelling at each other. But that's Hollywood. This is real life. Don't yell at people, right? And don't have them yell at you. You need to sit down and speak to each other like adults. And I know what y'all are going to say. Well, sometimes they don't listen. No, listen to Uncle Freezy. You need to make your points better, right? If you are so invested in something that you feel like you have to yell and argue, or even worse, try to put your hands on somebody, back up and stop. Stop. Sit down and relax. Talk to this person. So this is what I say to Sarah. Hey, Sarah, listen. I said, hey, Sarah, listen. And then Siri is listening. Okay, Siri. Go to sleep, Siri. Go to sleep, Siri. Okay, there you go. That's funny. So anyway, yelling at people never resolves an issue, because even if they subdue and calm down in a moment, say if somebody yelled at me or whatever, and I try not to. 5 years ago, me, if you yelled at me, I might go off the, go crazy, get off the. But today's me, I'm like, listen, you yelling at me, man. All I hear is a bunch of noise. I'm past that. Right? I'm past that. All this yelling stuff and picking at people, whatever. I'm past that. As an adult, we should all be past that. What we should be doing is probably speaking to each other more. In a calm tone, something like this, where where my passion for the resolution of the issue is still there, but but I'm just not going to yell at you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know where you get positive outcomes from yelling and screaming at each other. Right? So being passionate doesn't mean you have to yell and scream at people. It doesn't. You don't have to yell and scream at people just to show passion. Or yelling and screaming at each other doesn't necessarily. All it shows, it does show excitement, but what kind of excitement are you looking to invoke? In an argument, when you yell and scream at somebody, are you looking at something, becoming physical? Are you looking at something like that, becoming, going across that threshold of I'm looking at walking out of the door if you don't listen? What I would say is this: just calm down and make sure that when you bring up the issue, that you bring it up in a way that's poignant and makes sense, right? You don't want to yell and scream at Sarah like, Sarah, stop! You're tearing up this family with your drinking. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know that's the Hollywooded up version. And I know that's how some of us communicate. Like we can't elaborate our points fully unless we're yelling and screaming. That's for some people. I would not advise that. What I'm advising is speak to people in a respectful tone. And I know that people don't always do that. But do that. Try that. So, if the talking that we've done is not a reasonable fix, like if the reasonable fixes that we have don't seem to resolve the issue either in the moment or down the road, is the issue, the problem, the addiction, whatever it is, worth investing resources? Is it worth getting professional help? And so when I was talking to my sounding board again, about this topic, when I got to the point of invoking outside resources, it sounded funny to them. Like, what are you talking about? Outside resources? Do we all need counseling? I know, listen. I know what y'all gonna say. Yeah, what do we need counseling for? Blah, blah, blah. Spending money to fix issues. Okay, if you got a flat tire, would you spend money to get your tire fixed or replaced? Yes. And I know all y'all big, strong men like, I can fix a tire. You can't fix it. You can change a tire. A lot of y'all can change a tire, but you can't fix it. You change that tire and put that old tire in the trunk and maybe throw it away, but y'all ain't fixing it. Stop being ridiculous. Y'all will go buy a new tire. I mean, don't be ridiculous. I mean, it's a deal where sometimes where the issue persists every day your life is a problem. Every time you try to bring up the problem, the other party suck their teeth and throw their hands in the air. Like, oh, why you always picking on me about such and such? You know what? Y'all might need counseling. And that's real. That's real life right there. Say every time I see Sarah, I'm like, Sarah, you keep asking me to help you with your house payment, but you got a great job. What's going on? So the issue may not be the house payment or the fact that Sarah won't pay it. It may be a bigger issue. Maybe Sarah's drinking because there's something else going on. There's some type of emotional thing where she feels like she has to use alcohol as a coping mechanism. And maybe she don't feel comfortable talking to me about it. So maybe Sarah feels comfortable in a clinical setting with a counselor. Maybe it's something from her childhood that crept up, she's been dealing with for a long time, and she's gotten to the point where she can't deal with it on her own anymore. So now she's, using the alcohol as a means to help her cope with it. And I didn't know, and none of us knew. Maybe she just kept it to herself the whole time. Right? A lot of us have issues like that. A lot of us have issues like that. All right, so here's the part where I tell y'all that if y'all like conversations like this, subscribe to the channel. Like, legit, go on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, so that and like this video and subscribe, so that the next time we come on and have a conversation, you'll be alerted. And then that way y'all can jump right in. Right? Y'all can jump right in and say, man, Uncle Freezy, no, I would have done it a different way. We want to make sure that we grow the video chat and the community, so when we come on and have this conversation, it'll be more people, so that we can, build this thing and get more participation. Because the goal is for not me to show my ugly mug on TV or YouTube or whatever, but the goal is to be a community of fixers. You know what I mean? So instead of watching a show like Power to resolve our issues, like, man, maybe I should be more like Ghost. Hey, no, maybe we should talk to each other more like a family. Maybe we should interact more. Maybe we should share our problems more, where we can help others fix problems more. And you don't have to get on here and tell your personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want you to do that. You know what I'm saying? What we want you to do is come on and add a little bit to the conversation. Subscribe to the channel. Right? Like the video so more people can see it. Right? We want it to be a means for us to not just talk about issues like this, but talk about other stuff. Like, for instance, I know there are, and this is away from the topic, and I'm going to get back to the topic, but we want to get to a situation where a lot of you guys that maybe want to start your own business can come on. We can do a live stream like this, talk about what it takes for you, the viewer, to chase your lifelong dream of owning a business. What steps would you take? What steps does it take to be successful? We want to work backwards from success. What's your end goal? We want to put that in view and then work backwards from it, so that we can all be successful. That's just an example. Or conversations about maybe more lighthearted stuff, like how to put a family reunion together. That's a real topic. How to put a family reunion together. Because I'm gonna tell you something about a family reunion, and we don't do them now that we're in COVID. Not just COVID, but the quarantine. Now that we're mostly quarantined, we won't do that stuff. We don't want to have big gatherings of people. But when the time comes that we can get back out, we're gonna party like it's 1999. But we want to make sure that we know how to do it, because it's not all about putting Bobby on the ribs and making sure that Auntie get all the t-shirts right. You know what I'm saying? Family reunions got to be more than that. You know what I mean? We got to make sure that that we do more stuff. I don't want to give away the family reunion topic right now. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that tomorrow. You know what? How about that's a date? How about we do that tomorrow? Tomorrow I'll jump back on this same time and talk about how to put a family reunion together. That's all right with y'all? Let me write that down. Did y'all see how I just wrote that down? That's another thing that we have to work on. When we have good ideas, we need to write them down and cultivate ideas. Like an idea is just not one of those things that we come, and it's basically what I'm getting at is an idea that may be birthed with you is not yours. An idea is one that should be cultivated and shared so others can put their impact, and you have to be selfless. And just because the idea was yours don't mean it's all yours. If it's a good idea and help everybody, you need to put it out there and make sure that it helps everybody, and be the custodian of that idea. Like put that good idea out there. Don't just let people come in and ruin it, but also be accepting of ideas that may enhance your idea. But back to our topic, how to fix problems. The main thing with fixing a problem is make sure you're empathetic. Make sure that you have are available to put devices in place, whether it's devices that you have readily available to you, or if it's a situation where you may have to go get outside resources, like maybe go get counseling, or go to your church. And listen, when y'all go, listen. A lot of times when people have problems, they go to people that they believe have answers, and they don't have the answers. I'm here to tell you, you have to go to a professional. And I know y'all like, I know some of y'all like the tree shade mechanic, right? The tree shade mechanic can fix your transmission. No, don't go to the tree shade mechanic. Don't do that with stuff that's important. When things are important, don't go to the half professional. Go to the professional person certified to deal with stuff. You know, y'all gonna be like, well, I don't have money. Well, how important is your issue? You don't want to just patch it up. I hear people say, man, I patched up my friendship with such and such. Oh, yeah? How long is that patch gonna last? Think about what I just said. Think about it. How long is that patch gonna last? You know, it's what we have to do is be serious about things that are serious to us. Like take a serious approach to things that mean things that have value. Like say for instance, I give an example. Say Sarah wasn't my sister. Say Sarah was just a coworker that I met and at a job that I used to work at once, and she has an alcohol issue, and you know I want to make sure her well-being is okay, right? So while I do value everybody, I love everybody, man. You hope everybody does well, but if Sarah's issue is impacting, say, my family's life, then I may have to take a step back from Sarah and be like, hey, Sarah, listen, I understand you got issues going on. I got to take a step back from this relationship because it's impacting my family negatively. And the last thing I want to do is bring somebody else's drama home to my home when there was no drama there in the first place. I know that sounds mean, right? Sometimes though, you have to consider. You have to consider where you are in life. Like where are you in your life? Can you take on that thing? Can you jump out there and take resources from one place to help fill in the gap in other places? A lot of us can't do that. A lot of us can't take resources from our family life and try to fix stuff in somebody else's life. Right? I know that sounds mean, but we have to weigh our options. Option A is keep a decent family life in place, and without the drama, because y'all have used the fixes and y'all are in a good place. You don't have to yell at each other. You don't have the issues and the problems and maybe addiction and dramas, because y'all have a system of problem solving, right? Do you take away from that to help fill in the gap in another place? I'm not for sure. In my case, I'm saying no. And you know, because it's hard to maintain a good family life that you feel comfortable at home and feel safe at home, and that's your place where you can get the mental rest and siesta, right? So if you use the outside resources to help somebody, use these outside resources to help. Is it going to? How much does it cost? Not monetarily, like not you know, cutting a check. I'm talking about like how much time are you going to invest in it? You know, like how much time do you take away from other things to invest in it? It's a lot to consider. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it right here. And I know y'all like, man, we just getting started. I know. I just wanted to try it, see what the live stream is gonna be like. I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna do the family reunion one. That one should be more fun and lighthearted, right? That should be more fun and lighthearted. Anyway, thank everybody for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button so we can grow this thing. So the next time we come on, we'll have more people invested, so that this thing will grow. Again, man, it's your man, Uncle Freezy. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.